Do you have any dream?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Of course you have.
Few.
If I tell you, could you put all your saving on that dream right now? Take out all your saving and just invest it in your dream right now.
Yes.
Would you do it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Not sure, right?
No, not
Are you? What are you afraid of?
failure of failing,
Did you know one of the biggest reasons for failure is the fear of failure itself?
Whoa.
And you might, I mean, like many people, they never start because they're afraid of failing. And they never fail, but they never
Tried?
get to live and
Wow.
experience and have what they want.
Holy
Today, we're going to talk about fear of failure. And if you are facing fear and you are always, whenever you want to start something, it's like there is this fear that like paralyzes you and say you can't do it. And if it goes wrong, you lose everything. Stay with us because we're going to talk about this and give you some tips to overcome that fear.
That's huge.
I'm going to teach you guys.
Thank
You, everybody. No fear. Crazy, you know? Hi everybody, it's Sadie and
Homer.
today we're going to talk about fear of failure. And I know everybody experienced that. Whenever you want to start something, you try to actually first predict the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So to be prepared for that.
Yeah, we call it like planning. Like
Yeah.
we try to plan.
Yeah, and then what happened is that paralyzed you. It was like, oh my God, that's like I'm gonna lose everything. Everyone is gonna judge me, and people think I'm stupid. And if I lose, it means I'm not worthy.
That's interesting, yeah, because it's like, let me plan how to do this, and in your plan you're thinking, gotta do this, gotta do that, but what if this happens when this happens? What if this happens? And you're like, no, we better not, and then you just don't do it.
Exactly.
Because you're scared.
And did you know that this fear of failure shows up with different like customs? Sometimes it looks like a idealist, like I need to start perfect. Everything should be in the right place. Like I want to start social media. I need to be perfect. I need to know everything about it. And then it's like they never stop.
Great point. Yeah. So sometimes it's like we use excuses not to start because different things scare us more, and each highlight of scariness, it's like. Yeah, it's an excuse, and we're like, we can't because of this.
So this is one of them. And the other way that other symptoms of this fear might be laziness. I'm planning, and then I don't have energy to do that, and I don't know why I can't get to do the plan that I did. Like I planned everything, but then I don't do it.
Wow.
Or I started and then I stop it when I get close to it.
Wow.
All this, I mean, like, it doesn't mean if it happened, it means it's a fear, but many times this is the fear of failure, and that can stop you.
I truly believe that's true. I truly believe that 99.9% of the lack of success isn't failure. It's the fear of failure.
And not starting. This is so ironic,
crazy.
What is funny? Because, like, successful people, all the people that we admire, they always see themselves that they have that things that they want. So when they're planning, they're not stupid. They think about everything, strategies, how to make that. But they don't think about worst case scenario. They know if the worst case scenario happened, they're ready. I'm the same person then, so I will come up with the idea then. I don't need to think about it now.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they kind of see themselves with the best scenario possible, and then.
But do you think that they still have that fear or no?
No, they don't have a fear of failure.
Really?
They know something about failing
that
normal people don't know.
Okay.
That makes me crazy when I find out. There's this beautiful woman. Her name is Cody something. I will find you and put you here, I swear. She's beautiful. And she helps, I think she's a business strategist, or she does.
Wow, that's crazy.
She does something about money. She's a money person, okay?
Yeah,
she makes money. And she said something that changed my life. She said in one of her, like a seminar or podcast or whatever, she said when she was working with businesses and trying to help them to make more money, she realized the business owners who make more money have a different mindset than the other one.
Whoa.
What was the mindset? Imagine it's the end of the meeting, and everyone is just living, and then somebody say, I have an idea, and then the other guy, like the loser one, was like, Next week we'll talk about it. But the successful person was like, tell me the idea. And the person says the idea. And he says, oh, let's do it. And the person is like freaking out. Is like, I'm not ready,
Really?
but let's work on it and think about it more. No, 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 no. Do it, because until next week, when the other business, the other company come and sit down and talk about this, we failed twice and we are further ahead.
Wow.
So they know failure is a part of success. They don't see failure as a bad thing. They think if we fail twice, we are further ahead. Oh,
Wow.
it's killing me. When I realized it was like, wow,
That's huge.
what? And then it was like a piece of puzzle that everything came together at the
That's
sudden,
so crazy.
because their interpretation of failure is different.
It's progress.
And I hate myself that I didn't know it. I mean, like now it's
And time not wasted. Wow.
yeah. So, what should we do?
Thank you for that.
I'm
She
so
just changed
excited.
my life too.
I'm so excited even talking about
That's
that.
so crazy.
But thank you for Cody. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I mean, like if you're
thank
not,
you.
and I believe if you're not in a good frequency, high frequency, you wouldn't understand. Like many people would hear this, and it was like, okay, but they don't. But you understand it because you got excited. I got excited and still excited. Okay, but what should we do? So fear of failure means we see failing as something scary.
Yep.
Easy. It's like a monster. We don't want to
doesn't
face
feel
the
good.
monster. Why did we come up with the idea of
Failure?
that failure is a bad thing?
Well, it sounds like it's similar to survival. Like when we don't survive, we die. And we don't want to die, we want to survive. We want to live, we want to survive. It sounds like failing is scary like that. It's like we don't want to die, I guess. We want to live. And so the fear of failure is like the fear of dying in a way. Maybe not exactly like that, but it is
I see what you mean.
similar. It's like, let's avoid the danger. Let's avoid the risk.
And
Let's be safe.
That's actually 100% true.
Yeah.
Because subconscious mind sees everything unknown as a threat.
Yeah.
So we're talking about threat. But
Yeah.
there is something else. I love this example. So imagine I have a boyfriend and I tell you my boyfriend is a horrible person. You see this bruise, that was my boyfriend.
Yeah.
You're my friend, you feel bad and you hate that guy. You don't
Yeah.
you don't know that guy, but you will hate it.
Yep.
But then next day I will come to you, it's like, I'm going to see my boyfriend. I was like, what? Why? He hurt you. You shouldn't go. You shouldn't. And you try to stop me, right?
Yeah.
And then if I don't listen to you, maybe you lock the door and it's like, stay here and think about it. You shouldn't go. That person is dangerous. And then if I don't listen, maybe, I don't know, if you're a crazy person, you would pay, put a sleeping pill on my food, and so she's not going to go and see that crazy
No, we're
guy.
two dangerous crazy guys. But yeah.
No, I'm just kind of
Yeah.
exaggerating things
Yeah.
to come up for the sake of the
Yeah.
conversation, so
Yeah.
you understand. Subconscious mind is you. And I'm that stupid person that going back to, no, it's not. Subconscious mind is you in this example, and I'm the person that told you my boyfriend is a horrible person.
Yeah.
I told you failure is scary. And if you fail, it means we are unworthy. If you fail, everyone is going to judge
wow.
us.
Yeah.
If we fail, and now, tomorrow I'm going to tell you, hey, I want to do something. And then you ask, is there any possibility of failure? Sure, everything you do, there is a possibility of failure. And I was like,
that's true.
and you were like, hell no, don't do it. Don't do it. because
Don't do it.
Because you didn't know what is a failure. I taught you what is a failure. So you learned that failure is not a good thing. When did you learn? When you were a child. You didn't pass like a test or something, and your
Got
mom.
in trouble.
Yeah, the
Got your ass beat.
Yeah,
All those are like
I
failures.
wanted to go nicer. I was like, they judged you, but okay, they looked at you like a failure,
Yeah.
and then you learned and made that decision
That's
at that
true,
age.
yeah.
If I fail, it means I'm unworthy because they looked at me this way.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do anything unless I'm great and perfect, right?
Yeah.
So you told your subconscious that failing is not good things. It's bad. It means I'm unworthy. So try not to fail.
Yeah. Stay away from that.
So you made that decision. You made that word, give meaning to that word, to subconscious. But imagine you have a child failing in a test and you say, "Ooh, great job. You did that. It means you're so brave." And
Whoa.
anytime that kid fails, he was like, did you know other kids would be scared to do that, but you did it. The meaning of failure is different for this kid.
Wow.
And then when he grows up, or she, it would be like jumping for any opportunity, doesn't afraid of any failure.
Wow.
So we have been programmed to believe that failure is a bad thing. That's why we're afraid of failure. And anytime we want to change our life because we're not happy with what we have, any idea, any plan, because if you think about it, there is a chance of failure all the time.
Yeah, always.
So subconscious tries to take care of us because we tell the subconscious that failure is bad.
Yeah, and obviously because you just mentioned we learned it growing up. But you know, what's interesting too is it's like building that foundation. When you were a kid, you build the foundation of whatever material they gave you, which were all of these bad feelings of failure and all of the ways that we experienced failure. But as adults, we bring that with us, that foundation, and there are real life consequences. Like if I fail, I'm not going to have money to pay bills, I'm not going to have a car, or I'm not going to have a place to live. Those are real consequences, sure. But the interesting thing is that regardless, those things are still real. They're
Manageable. We can do it. You can do
and
it.
they're manageable, and they're real. And no matter what happens, those things were never not going to exist anyway. Even if we take the step not to fail, those things never changed. They're still going to be there. You're still going to do whatever you have to do to pay bills or whatever. But taking that extra step and not fearing fear might get you to the place you want to go, the place you want to be. It might take you into this new reality where
I'm sure you failed in your life. You have failed many times, not a whole
many times.
But did it?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't kill you. And then
I'm still here. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I lost a
agree.
lot of money, and I don't remember where did I make. Like again, you make money, but then this is the fear that you need to overcome.
Yeah.
But it is
scary.
There's some ways to overcome this fear. Like there are ways to reprogram your brain in subconscious. But I found it for my critical mind. It was the best way to do that was like a reasonable stuff. I could do meditation. I could do this. But what about reading about that? This thing that I tell you, this lady Cody said, that changed my life. It was just an experience she had. So when you read about successful people, their mindset with this thing of failure, how many times they failed, and then you realize maybe your translation or interpretation of failure isn't right. So it will change slowly when you start reading about these people. You can just ask ChatGPT, tell me about people, like very famous people who failed. What was their failure? How much money they lost? And there were a lot of people. But the interesting part is, when I came to the US like 2 years ago, there were some families that I met and they came the same time. In past 2 years, they never failed because they never tried different things. I failed at least 3 times, but now I make like 3 times money than they make. Wow. So the failure means that you tried different ways.
Yeah.
And then I failed 3 times because I tried 10 different ways to make money.
Yeah.
But they never failed, so they didn't get to experience that fear of failure because they were like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be safe, staying in my safe zone. And comfort.
So they never grew.
And now they're like kind of wondering how come that she makes this much money and we can't. And the reason is because you never tried, but you never failed. Oh, I love this thing from, hopefully I will find it. Steve Harvey says. It says.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, he says that if you see that, if you find it, we will put it here. So you're not gonna listen to me. Just listen. Steve Harvey. He says that if you see other people are like you're staying in the tip of the cliff, and everyone is flying away, and it was like, why everyone is flying and why can't they fly? And then you are always just dreaming about this flying, but you're scared, and you're not gonna. Everyone who succeeded in anything, I don't know, any dream, they jumped. They did take that risk. And he was like, you think you are going to fly? No, you are going to go. You're going to hurt yourself. It's going to be painful, but you're not going to die. And you could do it again and again. Maybe after 3 times, you're going to fly. And that's the time. So I love the fact that he said it's not possible to win the first time. And that was amazing. Maybe you're lucky.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, just do it.
It's fine. And so to change...
Because you're going to learn from it, and then you'll be stronger. and then you'll do it again because you've learned something from it.
Exactly.
And then it'll probably hurt less. It'll still hurt.
To be honest, for me, I changed this meaning of failure for myself.
Yeah.
For me, failure is like when I do something and I fail, I know that I used to read about it. Like Einstein said that Edison, I think Edison said, I found 100 ways that didn't work, or 500 ways that didn't work.
Yeah.
So I started doing that in my life, and I tried 5, 6 times different things and it didn't work, and the 7th time worked, and I made a lot of money for what I wanted, from the way I wanted. And I never thought about those 6 times that I failed, because I changed the idea of failure. I was like, that was the way, just a path didn't work. This
Yeah.
didn't work, this didn't work, but this one worked. So the only thing that we emphasize and we think about and we write book about is the one that worked. That's why people has this delusion of there's no failure is a bad thing. Look at the rich people. Everyone is talking about their success.
Yeah.
But if they write a book about 120 times that I failed, nobody's gonna read that book.
And
I mean,
they
I
should,
would read.
because- yeah,
I would read it.
Because that's good.
But then the people
good
are
material,
like,
good tools.
nah, just tell me about the time that you
Oh,
made
right.
billions of dollars.
Failure. Let's go read his failures. Like,
Yeah.
let's go see how he failed. Why
Or
he failed.
200 ways of failure.
Yeah,
Or
to fail.
300 times that I failed. Or 200 ways not to success. Nobody's gonna
Yeah.
close like,
How
what?
not to succeed.
I was
Okay, I
like,
don't want to read that.
So this is the reason. So people got we just got idea of we shouldn't fail.
That's crazy.
We read only about success and we don't see the other part of it.
Yeah.
So failure is a good thing.
Failure is the road to success.
It is unknown, but I also learned about unknown. As you remember, I told you, Joe Dispenza was like, you should lean into like toward unknown. You should jump into the unknown.
Yeah.
And he said, unknown never disappointed me. And I love that
Wow.
because I experienced that. Unknown never. I mean, people I know disappointed me, but unknown never.
Wow.
So if you want to change that if you want to
Thought.
overcome that fear of failure, you need to give new meaning to your subconscious. You can do it different ways, but to be honest, I think the best way is just to read about successful people, how many times they failed, and how they think about failure. And that will change your life because you understand that you've been lied to for a long time. And you start just feeling empathy actually for yourself for all the times that you did something not perfectly, and then people are like, why did you do that? Why are you wasting your time? And don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Just don't be afraid.
Yeah. Thank you for that, because honestly, I'm going to take that with me as well. And it's a huge learning
Did
opportunity.
I change your life?
You did. Because I
changed
understand
people's
you
life.
have to think different. You have to think like they think the way that they have figured out how to really reach success. And that's taking on the risk, fighting through the fear, and failing, and learning. And
That's an
learning
interesting
again.
thing. You say you have to think how they think. This is actually a topic called NLP. So they find people, and we can talk
What's
about
that?
it. NLP is a neuro-linguistic programming. It's talking about how you can choose a model, like somebody who has everything you want to have,
Whoa.
and then model them. And NLP believe that they're not genius. Whatever they do, if you copy that,
Copy
you're
paste.
gonna get the same result. If you want
Is
to, we
that
can
true?
talk about NLP
Let's-
later.
Yeah. Let's bookmark that so we can
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yes. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you want to support us, give us a thumbs up and
Subscribe.
leave some comments.
Yep.
And until next video, bye-bye.
Have a good one.